The ancient slave's secret to becoming unbreakable. Imagine you are standing in the middle of a collapsing building. Dust fills your lungs, and the world is literally tearing itself apart. Most people scream, freeze, or panic. But a small group of people, the ones we call unbreakable, simply look at the chaos, find the one thing they can influence, and act with total calm. This isn't a genetic superpower or a lack of emotion. It is a specific psychological framework forged in the fires of ancient Rome. Today, we are uncovering the hidden Stoic method that can turn your greatest weaknesses into an iron fortress of the mind. This is the secret to becoming truly invincible. We live in an age of constant noise and anxiety. We worry about the economy, we stress over what strangers think of us online, and we lose sleep over mistakes we made years ago. It feels like we are drowning in a sea of things we cannot change. This mental fatigue isn't just annoying, it's a trap that keeps us weak and reactive. But what if there was a way to filter out every single piece of stress in your life, leaving only the things that actually matter? To find that answer, we have to look back at one of the most unlikely heroes in human history. Enter Epictetus. He wasn't a king, a general, or a wealthy merchant. He was born a slave. For years, he lived in chains, subject to the whims of a cruel master who eventually broke his leg, leaving him crippled for life. Most people in his position would have been filled with bitterness and despair. Instead, Epictetus discovered something revolutionary. He realized that while his master could control his body and his environment, there was one sacred territory that no one could touch, his own mind. He spent his life perfecting a method to protect that inner sanctum, eventually becoming a teacher to emperors. The core of his philosophy is known as the Dichotomy of Control. It is deceptively simple, yet it is the most powerful tool for mental resilience ever devised. Epictetus taught that everything in life falls into one of two categories: things we control and things we do not. Most of our suffering comes from a fundamental error in judgment. We spend 99% of our energy trying to manipulate things in the no-control category: the weather, the past, the opinions of others, while neglecting the only things we actually own: our thoughts, our intentions, and our reactions. To understand how this makes you unbreakable, imagine an archer aiming at a target. The archer does everything in his power to succeed. He trains his muscles, he maintains his bow, and he focuses his vision until the moment of release. But the moment the arrow leaves the string, it is no longer in his control. A sudden gust of wind can blow it off course. The target could move. A bird could fly in its path. If the archer's happiness depends solely on hitting the bullseye, he is a victim of the wind. If his goal was simply to shoot the best shot possible, he is successful regardless. When you apply this archer mentality to your daily life, your perspective shifts instantly. Think about a high-stakes job interview. Most people walk in terrified of being rejected. But you don't control the interviewer's mood, their biases, or the quality of the other candidates. If you obsess over the outcome, you are giving your power away to strangers. However, if you focus entirely on your preparation, your honesty, and your effort, you cannot lose. Even if you don't get the job, you have succeeded in the only metric that matters: your own performance. This is how you eliminate anxiety. But the Stoics went even deeper than just managing stress. They believed that once you master the dichotomy of control, you can actually use obstacles to your advantage. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world at the time, famously wrote that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This means that a problem isn't a wall, it's fuel. If someone is rude to you, it's an opportunity to practice patience. If you fail a project, it's an opportunity to learn. You become a mental alchemist, turning leaden setbacks into golden growth. This leads us to a concept called amor fati, or the love of fate. It's not just about tolerating the things you can't control, it's about embracing them as necessary parts of your journey. Imagine your life is a movie. You wouldn't want a movie where the hero has no challenges and everything goes perfectly for 2 hours. That would be a boring story. The setbacks, the villains, and the tragedies are what make the character arc meaningful. When you accept that the universe provides the script, and your only job is to play your role with excellence, you become truly unbreakable. The difficulty of this method is that it requires radical honesty. It's easy to blame the economy for our financial situation or blame our parents for our personality flaws. These are external factors, and while they are real, focusing on them makes us powerless victims. The Stoic method demands that we stop looking for excuses and start looking for agency. Even in the most dire circumstances, like Epictetus in his chains, there is always a choice to be made. You choose how you define the event. You choose what your next move will be. You choose your own character. Consider the modern world of elite performance. Navy SEALs, Olympic athletes, and world-class CEOs often use variations of this Stoic framework without even knowing it. They call it controlling the controllables. In the middle of a chaotic mission or a gold medal race, their world shrinks down to the next breath, the next step, or the next decision. They ignore the scoreboard and the crowd because those things are external noise. By focusing with laser precision on their own internal process, they achieve results that seem impossible to the average person who is distracted by the no control category. Becoming unbreakable doesn't mean you stop feeling pain or disappointment. It means those feelings no longer have the power to destroy you. You become like a mountain. The weather changes, the storms howl, and the snow falls, but the mountain remains unmoved. It doesn't argue with the clouds or wish for the sun, it simply exists in its strength. When you stop fighting against reality and start working within it, you find a level of peace and power that most people will never understand. You transition from being a piece on the board to being the player of the game. So, how do you start? It begins with a single question you must ask yourself every time you feel a spark of anger, fear, or frustration: is this in my control? If the answer is no, you must train your mind to view it as indifferent. This doesn't happen overnight. It is a muscle that must be built through daily practice. Start with the small things: a traffic jam, a rainy day, a rude comment. Practice letting them pass through you without affecting your internal state. Eventually, you will be ready when the big storms of life arrive at your door. The legacy of Epictetus is a reminder that freedom is not found in changing our circumstances, but in changing our minds. You can have all the money and power in the world and still be a slave to your fears. Or, you can have nothing and be the master of your soul. The choice is yours, and it is the only choice that truly belongs to you. By mastering the dichotomy of control, you don't just survive the world, you conquer it from the inside out. You become the one thing that the chaos of the world cannot break. The journey to becoming unbreakable is a lifelong pursuit, but it is the most rewarding one you will ever undertake. True strength isn't about how much you can lift or how much you can earn, it's about the stillness of your mind in the center of the storm. If you are ready to stop being a victim of fate and start being the architect of your character, the Stoic path is waiting for you. If you found value in this story, make sure to like, comment, and follow our channel. And for more deep dives into general education, click on the next long video appearing on your screen now.